Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Happily Booked, the bookcast where two kindred spirits believe that the pursuit of happiness is the same thing as reading a good book and being able to talk about it. We're your hosts. This is Brooke and
Beck.
And, before we ever even started the podcast, I had, typed up a bunch of stuff. I guess just, our idea and everything. I found that paper. It's a couple of pages. It's a couple of papers. I found it somewhere.
Yeah.
And I want to look back on it.
Yeah.
And maybe see if there's a different intro I had jotted down.
Oh, yeah. You might have.
I might have. Not that there's anything wrong with our intro, but of course...
You'd like to change it up just a little bit.
I just want to switch it up a little bit and maybe have something a little shorter. It's been a while since I've been saying it, too.
Yeah.
So
Okay, Brooke, whatever.
Right. Move on. I'm sure people are like, okay, yeah, whatever. Brooke and Beck, yep. So that always crosses my mind. Because, of course, I haven't actually sat down and tried to think of anything else.
Yeah.
I just think about it when we sit down to record. Okay. Coming out of left field here. Do you have a quote?
That's funny.
LOL. I can find one if you don't have one.
You probably should.
Okay. I had a few little pages dog-eared in here. Okay. I'm just gonna... I got a little something. I don't know where I should start. I'm just gonna start here. She goes on and tells us to mind our manners, say yes ma'am and no ma'am. Don't grab and touch all the books. And if the workers ask whether we're happy here, we're to tell them we're very grateful to Miss Tan for finding us and to Miss Murphy for taking us into her home. I lost track of the rest. All I could think of is that we're going to have a chance at a book. And there's not much I'd like better than books, especially books I haven't read yet. With 5 of us, we can get 5 books. So I know that's kind of random, but I thought it was cute because it was a little book quote. It was like, there's nothing I like more than books, especially ones I haven't read yet. And I was like,
right.
Oh, that's so cute. That was from this awful book, Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate.
Yeah.
Which I think my mom can agree with me it's not awful. That's a little dramatic, but it's an awful book. Makes me feel awful.
It's depressing.
Yes, very. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Is there anything you'd like to mention or hauls-ish? I think I might. Oh, shoot, Becky. I don't even know. I've probably got so many things to haul upstairs. Actually, I do, but I'm not going to go up there and get them. I wonder if there's something on my Kindle I can contribute. Let's see.
I do have a haul.
Ooh, let me have it.
So first of all, these glasses that I'm wearing.
Right.
Are
so
new.
Cute.
The mail person on the weekends for my neighborhood is lazy.
Yeah.
So they had the nerve. I had it actually sent to my mom and dad's house because there's people there more often than there are at my house.
Right.
So I was like, well, whenever it's delivered, and I didn't know it's going to be delivered by USPS, but I thought, whenever it's delivered, there should be someone there.
Right.
And so it was supposed to be delivered on Friday, but it was the weekend person. They had the nerve to say that they couldn't deliver the package because they couldn't get to the delivery point.
Oh my gosh, Beck, you don't even get me started. I'm like, just throw it over the gate. Just leave it out there.
But
I get so
my
mad.
parents don't even have a gate.
Right.
Their mailbox is right there.
Yeah.
And even if it had been delivered to my house, my mailbox is not, there's nothing in front of it.
Y'all live in a normal subdivision. Like, there's
Right.
no reason for it to not be able to be delivered.
Right.
Stupid.
Lazy.
It's so
and I
stupid.
wonder if they even went out and delivered any mail at all.
Right.
On Friday.
Right. Or they're just like, let me just drive around and listen to an audiobook or something. Listen to this podcast. This Happily Booked podcast.
I thought, okay, so if it's the weekend person, am I not going to get it on Saturday either?
Right.
And I had a notification from Goggles for You, which is the company I bought my glasses from, and said that if it gets returned 2 more times or is undeliverable 2 more times,
do it again.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, am I going to get my glasses? Like, I need my glasses.
That really, it irks me. Like, I understand. Okay. So, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, If I order anything online, it's on Amazon.
Right.
Because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, there's never a problem with delivery.
Right.
Because you have to jump through all these hoops to get your account set up and have everything how you need it. Because you want your package delivered to you.
Right.
And that's fine and dandy. I will give you the gate code. I'll give you instructions, whatever. Yes, the dog's put away. Like, whatever you need, just give me the things I bought.
Right.
And I ordered a big box of diapers one time through Amazon. Now, I don't know why USPS was one who was delivering that big box of diapers. That doesn't make sense to me. Of course, it's not going to fit in my mailbox.
No.
And they're like, sorry, I can't leave this anywhere but the mailbox. So there was no secure location. And they left like a slip. And I was like, what do you mean? Just put it behind the gate. Leave it out there. I know it's about to be delivered. I'll come get it. And twice they left a slip saying they couldn't deliver it. So I had to then pack up Stetson in the van, go to the post office, which our post office is like in the square, very close to where the square is. So it's like very hard to like easily get into. You have to like kind of go around and try again. And it's a little frustrating. So I had to get there, first of all. And then I had to go in. I had to get Stetson, go in, because I'm not going to leave Stetson in the van. And go get him. I had him in a stroller. And then they're like, here's this big package. And I'm like, okay, how am I going to carry this and take Stetson outside? And it's just it was annoying. Annoying. And I had tried to say, and there was another thing. It wasn't just the big box of diapers. It was something else. I don't remember now. That I had ordered, and they wouldn't leave it. And I was like, why is USPS delivering this, first of all? Why? Just give me my spam mail. Like, you don't have anything to do with my Amazon packages. But it was small enough that it could go in the mailbox, but they weren't leaving it. And I was like, what are you doing? Why aren't you leaving the package? I'm like, we can't leave it unless it's whatever. And we don't, and I guess they didn't have access to the gate code for some reason. So I was like, there's a gate code in the instructions and everything. Just deliver it. And it makes me so mad. That's happened like several times.
That's annoying. Why would Amazon send it through USPS?
I don't know. And I'm like,
it's probably the company that you ordered through Amazon.
Right.
And not Amazon.
Yeah. That was what I was thinking. Like, it wasn't like an Amazon product. So they could be anybody, really.
That's annoying. Well,
and I understand mine more, though, because I have the gate and you're off a dirt road and stuff. But like a normal subdivision, why is it difficult? The mailbox is numbered, right? Like, just set it
in the mailbox.
Just put it in the mailbox. It's a box with glasses in it.
Fortunately, he wasn't the same person working on Saturday. So I got my glasses on Saturday. And so they're bifocals. And when we start doing our videos again, y'all, I won't be taking my glasses on and off. I can actually see.
You won't be like, hold on, let me take them off. And oh, no, let me put them back on.
So I'll be a little less annoying on the videos.
You're not annoying, Becky.
But I also got the girls a few things. Ella got some winter socks and some shoes to wear during the winter. And Emma requested for it's not, what is this called?
That's a treadmill. She got a walking pad?
Yeah, she got a walking pad. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's coming Friday.
That's exciting.
And she's very excited about it. I'm trying to remember what else was in that shipment. Oh, the flash drive.
Okay.
So that I can easily move the videos back and forth if I run out of space. And actually trying to email it to you takes like hours.
Yeah.
Whereas I could just put it on that. It takes 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to save me some aggravation.
Hopefully.
And hopefully. So yeah, I think that's all my hauls.
Yeah. I mean, technically, I've got quite a stack of books upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, from your aunt?
Yes. But, yeah, we're not going to go over that. If I get my life together, maybe I'll have like a couple I'll bring down next week.
I was going to say, do like a couple different episodes with your haul.
Because it was funny once y'all left, or you left. Yeah, y'all. There's 3 of you. Once y'all left, I sent you a picture of that book that your mom was like, "Oh, Brooke might actually like this," and it was the one by James Patterson, and it had the 3 detectives, the 3 fictional detectives.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, we have it. That's so funny. So, and then there's a bunch of other books in there too. But I just thought it was so funny. It was like literally one of the first ones I saw.
It's almost like God is telling you to read that
book. I know. He's like, you have it now. So read it. What's also funny is this book, Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate, was also given to us by our great aunt, my mom's aunt. I don't know. And we were, after y'all left, we were going through all the books. And I was like, oh, it wasn't this one. I told my mom, I turned to her mother, and I was like, wasn't this one of the options for the book club poll? Oh. And she was like, oh my gosh, it was. That's so funny. And she knew at the time, but it had actually won the poll. Oh. So this was our book club book. So I was like, oh, I already have it. Cool. So it's just kind of funny how that
is funny
works out. A book that your mom thought I would read and a book that our great aunt gave us is actually our book club book.
Yep.
How convenient.
Those should be your next 2 reads.
Look at God. Okay. Have you finished anything?
I finished 3 things.
3? I was kind of trying to stalk you earlier on Storygraph, and I saw 2.
Well, when I was looking at them, I was like, wait a minute, there should be another book. I forgot to add one. So I just added it.
That makes sense. It's the Unselected somethings or another.
Yeah.
By somebody.
Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing I finished the day after our last recording.
Okay.
And that was He Shall Thunder in the Sky. Mm-hmm. I finished that one. It was good. It ended well. I was talking to a lady at church who's read the series, and I was like, everything happened. I mean, they didn't get married yet, but everything happened that I wanted to happen. She goes, it's not that simple.
Oh, and I was like,
Rebecca. Oh no. I'm not gonna read any more Elizabeth Peters for a little bit just because I have the other things I want to read, and I'm currently satisfied with the situation. But knowing
you need a break.
Knowing that it's not that easy, I'm like, oh, there's something's gonna happen before they get married. But I finished that. And then I read the first 3 novellas in the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. There's actually 8 that are out. And the lady at church that told me about them was like, I need more.
That's funny.
She has a subscription you can purchase, Beth Brower. And she writes about the daily lives of the people who live in this community in England. It's in London. And so she said, though I am ready for the next series, I'm not sure that I'm ready to commit to purchasing a
subscription, like a full length.
So, but I
membership.
mean, it's like a newsletter thing that she sends out, and it's just about the lives of the people who live there.
So they're like true accounts?
No,
or like a fictional base?
It's definitely fictional.
Oh, okay.
But if anyone's interested in doing something like that, this series is very good. I've only read the first 3. There is not a romance yet, but I feel like there's going to be. And I'm already torn between who I want the romance to be with, because there's 2 characters that I feel like they're setting up one of them to be, or maybe both, to be a romantic person. And I'm like, there's good things about, I like both of them so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't know who I'd want her to be with. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, they're very good. If anyone's interested, and they're novellas, so they don't take long to get through.
Right.
And and that's really all I really know about like the series and her newsletter. And then at the end of each novella, since I'm listening to it, it tells other things that she's done. And there's a book called The Queen's Gambit, but I couldn't find the one that she wrote. Well, there's more than one thing called The Queen's Gambit.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find hers. But that doesn't mean it's probably just me.
The one that was really popular and turned into a Netflix. Hold on. Yeah, by Walter Tevis.
Yeah, I think that's the one that
turned into, I can't find the picture. looking into that.
Yes.
Have you seen that
No.
picture?
Oh, I just found it on Amazon. Her copy.
Oh,
It's a nice a nice
that's cute.
cover. Yeah. So anyway,
that's so funny. I'm glad you're enjoying those. Yeah, they're like pretty short, and you're like racking up your books.
Oh, and there's 3 in that series apparently. She's got the Queen's Gambit, and then next is the Ruby Prince. The Ruby Prince. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to get used to my bifocals. And the Wanderer's Mark, which is book 3. So
That's nice.
Interesting. I might have to. I'm looking forward to physically reading some things. So
Yeah.
maybe at some point that'll be something I physically read.
You said I might get my hands on a book at some point.
And the Emma M. Lyons series is available at the library, or at least the library where my friend at church goes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about going and seeing if it's at my library and if I can check out the 4th one. And since it's short, I can probably read it no problem.
Yeah.
And I'm almost at 50 books for the year, so I've almost met my goal.
Well, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations. Almost to your goal. That's a good feeling. I know. I think I randomly texted you and I was like, "You should totally invest in the Libby app."
Yeah,
which is the library app, basically. I set it up with the library nearest me, and I've used it okay enough. I feel like it's nice to be able to use the library system for some of my audiobooks.
right.
And of course the ebooks are options as well, but I was just using it for audiobooks. And I would like place a hold. And of course, if it's a book that anybody else in the world has heard of, there's like a 2-week wait or something.
Right.
But at least. So some of that's like, okay, I'm still waiting for several books.
Right.
But then suddenly they'll come through. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then I will listen.
Right.
And then I return it like a week and a half early. I'm like, I feel like a good Samaritan.
Right.
Returning it early. Oh, 2 people are waiting. Don't worry, it's coming.
Don't worry, guys.
Yeah. So I've used that a couple times now. Something I'm listening to right now. I'm listening to the Libby app because our Everend is now back to normal. I know we mentioned that we had goofed a little bit, but it is back to normal now. But I've just haven't started anything on there because now I'm listening to something on Libby. And It's like I can't do 2 audiobooks. That's crazy.
Extremely crazy.
So yeah, my mom's really happy about Everend being back. She had started using the Libby app because she was like, I have to have an audiobook. Like I'm dying here. So she's been listening to random stuff. She actually, I know when she was here, she mentioned she listened to Eruption by Michael Crichton and James Patterson.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually just messaged her today and I was like, oh yeah. Because I was stalking her. I was stalking everybody on Storygraph. I was like, oh yeah, how did you like Eruption? She was like, it was good. And I was like, okay. Thumbs up. Glad you liked it. It is pretty good. It's not exactly what I expected going in, how I expected to feel with the writing style. It's not what I wanted, but it was still good. So that's fun. And it was very thrilling. It's a very like action-packed story.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I finished a couple things.
All right.
I finished, I think, I actually lost track. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4, but 2 of them were short stories. So, it counts. Okay. So the first one I finished the day after we recorded. Like you. We both had one. And it was 5 Total Strangers by Natalie D. Richards. I listened to it on Libby, I believe. And it was good. It was the thriller suspense story about a girl who has to come home for Christmas. I think she's in college no, she's actually in high school, but her parents are separated. So she was in California with her dad, I believe. And she was trying to fly back to somewhere on the Eastern Coast to her mom. Actually, I don't remember now what state it was. I think it was Pennsylvania. Not that matters, but I think it was Pennsylvania. And So she's like, oh, I've got to get back, but she waited too long, and, there's a blizzard coming, and during her layover, she's trying to find out if her next flight's on time, and it turns out everybody's flight's been canceled because of this upcoming blizzard. So she's like panicking, like, I got to get home for Christmas. My mom needs me. And so she's like, what do I do? And this girl she sat next to on the plane was like, I'm going to rent a car. You can ride with me. I'll drop you off in Pittsburgh. And, we'll get you home. And she's like, oh, I don't know. But then the more she thought about it, she was like, okay, I got to get home somehow. So she found the girl in the rental car place, and that'd be 3 other people. There was 3 other people joining the road trip. Right? 4? Doesn't matter. The book's called 5 Total Strangers, but anyway. So it doesn't matter. There was a group of people. She was like, oh, y'all are all going. And she was like, yeah, these are my friends. We're all going to go drop everybody off, whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. So she felt a little bit better about it. Because in her mind, she was like, well, they're her friends, so they're probably okay. And I'm thinking, none of this is okay.
I remember feeling apprehension when you told me about this book.
I was like, none of this is okay. I mean, most you have to go through life thinking most people are good, right? But, you do have to be a little apprehensive when it comes to certain things, regardless. So she starts this road trip home, and the blizzard starts while they're on the roads, and they're having to go through mountains and stuff. And then inside the car, the tensions between all these people start to rise because it's like weird things are starting to happen. Like weird statements are said, and my belongings are going missing. How is that possible? Somebody in this car has to be touching my stuff. Like,
right.
What's going on? So it gets a little unnerving, which I was glad for. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I think I gave it a 4-star. I don't remember why I didn't give it a 5-star. I know why. It was a good book. Don't let any of the stars hold anybody back. That's just how I like to rate books. But I did predict like exactly who was not to be trusted. And sometimes that's fine, sometimes that's annoying. It wasn't really annoying, but it's just like, oh, okay. It was a good story, but I did know exactly what was happening. So,
that's funny.
Sometimes you want to be surprised and shocked. But it was good. And then I read on Kindle the first book in the Shivers series, short story collection series. And I think it's a horror series. And it's called Jackknife by Joe Hill. And it was pretty unsettling. I'm going to read its little description. This description is longer than I expected since it's only like 40-something pages. Ruined by scandal, Dennis Lang is hoping for a comeback. Selling the story of a cursed tree could make his future if it doesn't kill him. In this monstrous short story from New York Times bestselling author Joe Hill, Dennis awakens something evil when he removes a decades-old jackknife from the trunk of a gnarled old sycamore. Once pinned in place, now thoughtlessly freed, the tree returns to its roots. An act of vigilante justice took place under its boughs long ago. But its taste for blood has only grown stronger.
Oh.
So yeah, this guy ends up having an affair.
Oh.
And his wife is like, get out. And so he does. And he's going to stay at this Airbnb. It was the only Airbnb he could find for a reasonable price. And it was like, I guess he's staying long term. And it's in the middle of a forest. It's like literally like a 2-mile long driveway. Something like that. Something kind of bizarre. I think he's like right in or next to like a national forest. So there's like nothing. Which is honestly ideal. But he's there and he's just thinking about all the things he's done wrong and what he's going to do next and whatever. And he's out walking around because why wouldn't you, I guess? And he sees a knife, like a big jackknife, machete looking sword sticking out of a tree. Like, and he goes and is like, wow, this is really old. And he reminisces, and he's like, this is back when they gave Boy Scouts big old knives like this. And they don't do that now. And that was like a big deal to him. So I remember that distinctly. And he takes it out because he's like, you know what? I'm going to take this knife. And there's like other things etched into the tree, like just little random messages. And one of the messages said something like, we got so-and-so's dad. This is where we stopped it. And like, that's all it says.
That's ominous.
I know. I'm like, did you go on a murder spree? Like, and this is where you stopped? Like, what do you mean? So he takes the knife out, and then weird stuff starts happening at the Airbnb with the tree. Like, he leaves to go run errands or whatever, comes back, and he's like, that tree has moved. That tree's not in the same place it was when I found it. And he's like, you know what? There's a lot of trees around. I'm probably just not paying attention. It's a little disorienting, whatever. And then like he goes and sleeps, comes back out the next day, and the tree's like on the opposite side of the driveway and stuff from where it should be. And he's like, okay, I know for sure that tree was not on this side of the property. And so a bunch of weird, creepy things start happening in regards to this tree. It was a good little story, and it was unsettling. It was very open-ended, and I was like, okay, and that's it. Which I know is like it's sort of like a thing with short stories that they tend to be a little bit more open-ended. Mm-hmm. Whatever. But like, did he die? Did he not die? Did he stop the tree? Did he not stop the tree? Like, I just want some answers. So, it was good. Then I read the next one in that series, also on Kindle, and which was called The Indigo Room by Stephen Graham Jones. And this one was even shorter than Jackknife. And this is what the little synopsis says. Don't lose your head over office politics. The horrors of the modern workplace meet actual horror in a fiendishly entertaining short story from New York Times bestselling author Stephen Graham Jones. They're all New York Times bestselling authors. When the lights go out and the slideshow begins, middle manager Jennifer has a disturbing vision. A headless colleague right across the boardroom table. Is it a trick of the light or a vision of the future? She tries to brush it off and salvage the afternoon, but when her ex unexpectedly drops off her son at the office after school, suddenly her whole world takes an alarming turn. And I don't remember exactly what... I distinctly disliked this one more than the other one. I remember that. I think it's because it involved a little guy, you know?
Yeah.
But she's at the office and in a meeting that nobody wants to be in. They start a slideshow for whatever reason, and they don't like this specific room. It's because of like the lighting or something. Like, it's very creepy and weird, and somebody has to constantly go get maintenance to fix the lighting or whatever. And during the slideshow, the lights go off. But like during that time, there's a trick of the light where she like looks at one of her colleagues and like her head's gone. And she's like, what? And then she looks at her other colleague and his hand is gone. Like, very odd. And then the lights come back on and everybody's fine. And she's like, okay.
Strange.
It's sort of like, it's almost like Final Destination, like, kind of. And she's like, okay, that was really weird, whatever. Goes about her day. And then her child gets dropped off at the office because I don't know what his dad's problem is, but then so she has to like sneak him around because her boss doesn't want the kids there. She's like, look, if I don't want one person's kid here, I have to make exceptions for everybody. I don't want to do that. So no, sorry, no kids here at all, no matter what. So she's like trying to sneak him around and hide him in the office and stuff. And one of her other like younger coworkers is like, I'll watch him, it's fine. So they go and they watch the child. But the next time she finds her child and the coworker, they're in this indigo room. And she's like, I don't like this room. This room freaks me out. Mm-hmm. And she sees another upsetting-ish kind of vision, but it involves her child. She's like, oh, okay, this isn't okay. So she gets her child, they go back to her cubicle, whatever, and then it goes on after that, and you find out why she saw the vision in the Indigo room, and then what's going to happen after that. So it wasn't as unsettling as the first story. The first story was very genuinely like, this is good for spooky season, creepy. This one was more like, if something happens to this child, I'm going to like get really upset. Like, like a very upsetting story.
Right.
And there's a difference in my head. So then I read this stupid book. Before plot twist. I actually finished this 2 nights ago. And it's for our book club, which is tomorrow. So Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. Okay, I'm going to read the synopsis. It's kind of long. Bear with me. Memphis, 1939. 12-year-old Ril Foss and her 4 younger siblings live a magical life aboard their family's Mississippi River shantyboat. But when their father must rush their mother to the hospital one stormy night, Ril is left in charge until strangers arrive in force. Wrenched from all that is familiar and thrown into a Tennessee Children's Home Society orphanage, the Foss children are assured that they will soon be returned to their parents, but they quickly realize the dark truth. At the mercy of the facility's real-life director, the cruel Georgia Tan, who was a real person, by the way. I know that doesn't mean too much yet, but that was a real person.
Is this a real story?
This isn't a real story. It's inspired by real events. Ril fights to keep her sisters and brother together. Aiken, South Carolina, present day. Born into wealth and privilege, Avery Stafford seems to have it all: a successful career, a handsome fiancé, and a lavish wedding on the horizon. But when she returns home to help her father weather a health crisis, a chance encounter leaves her with uncomfortable questions and compels her to take a journey through her family's long-hidden history on a path that will ultimately lead either to devastation or to redemption. So, it was a well-written story, but I don't think I fully read the synopsis when I started it. I think I must have been confused and had a different synopsis in the back of my mind from the same book stack we got from our great aunt. And I thought they were actual orphans who were being taken to an orphanage and then just rehomed. You know, kind of like Anne of Green Gables. You know, that's how I was sort of going into it thinking. I wasn't going into it thinking that they were going to be wrenched from their family who provided for them, loved them, wanted them, and just stolen away from them. And then, like, taken to this Tennessee Children's Home Society for Orphans, whatever, and, like, abused. And then it's 5 of them. There's 5 siblings. And people would just, the person, Georgia Tan, who ran it, people would just come to, like, look at the children. People who want to adopt children, they don't know that this lady is, like, like a child trafficker. Like, they don't know that. Like, this woman goes and steals people's children and then sells them.
That's terrible.
Awful. And so people show up, they want to adopt children, and she dolls them up, makes them like, you better say you're happy here, you better say how we feed you 3 meals a day, which they don't, and how we take care of you, you have all these toys, you're so happy, and you better be good or else. And so people will come, look at the children, they interact with the children, and if they decide, I think this child would be a good fit for our home, they have no idea that they've got 4 other siblings. And the lady's like, sure, go ahead. You know, pay the fee. We'll get the paperwork. This child's yours. And she just separates them and sends them off wherever they go. And they don't, one of the ladies who was looking at one of the children was like, oh, is this her sister? Because she was like very concerned with the little girl who was being looked at for adoption. And the one who was very concerned for her sister, she was scared to say anything, but she didn't want to be separated from her sister. But the lady was like, no, they don't have, there's no siblings. There's no siblings here, whatever. And they would just get taken off.
Did they not tell once they left the place?
Eventually, our characters say something to somebody, but like at that point, the damage was done. And I really didn't like this book. This book really upset me. I had just thought, I think I was just in the mindset that they were like genuinely orphans and not abducted, you know? And it really made me mad. It really upset me. And then you find out, like, of course bad things happen. Like, you know that something like this had to have happened. But then I was like, oh, I just read this horrible story. And then at the back they were like, this was an actual event from, like, Georgia Tan was a real person who did this at the Tennessee Children's Home. And I was like, oh, great. I'm so depressed now. Like, this was really fun. And I do think I almost stopped reading it. So I was like, this is just too sad. This is too sad. I don't like this. This is too sad. And I read sad books. But this was like a whole different level of sad.
Right.
And I told my mom I had finished it 2 nights ago. She's finishing it like today. Maybe like right now she's finished it. Mm-hmm. Via her updates to me through text. And she was like, oh, you finished it? And I was like, yeah, I had to like plow through it or I wasn't going to pick it back up. I was like, I was not a fan. And I even Googled, I said, does Before We Were Yours have a happy ending? And, you know, the generated AI answer popped up at the top and it said, I covered up the rest with my hand so I couldn't spoil it because I'm still a firm believer in not spoiling the book. And it said, yes. And then I think I caught a few words that said something about the sisters, something or another. And I was like, okay, it says there's a happy ending. So let's plow through this story. And I guess, yes, to most people who might read this, they would think that was a happy ending. But to me, there was a lot of things that went unanswered. And I am not okay. I am not okay with the ending of this book. And my friend Kaylee, actually, she messaged me. She sent me a picture of this book before I started reading it. And she didn't know it was a book club book. She was like, I just started this book. So far it's okay. Like, she was not very far into it. So far it's okay. Maybe it's something you would like. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. I'm literally going to read that book for the book club book. And then I messaged her and I was like, this book is so sad. Why is this book so sad? And she was like, yeah, it's really, I'm having a hard time getting through it. And I was like, just don't read it. Just don't read it. Don't do it. And not that Megan would pick this book up, but she was here and she walked into the house and I picked this book up and I was like, by the way, don't read this. Just in case you ever think about it, don't. Don't. It's far too depressing. Especially with all the sadness going on in the world at the moment. It was just like too much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
And so I told my mom, I was like, I'm going to like smack Deanna in the head with this book when I see her. Like, how dare you? And she loved it, apparently. I can see why somebody would love it. I can see why somebody would think it was a happy ending. But I didn't want to experience what I experienced. I told my mom, I was like, or I told Kaylee, I don't remember. I was like, I feel like I was just tortured. And like, for what? For what? For what? It wasn't worth it. Anyway, I don't know anything about Lisa Wingate. I'm sure she's a great author. This was a well-written story. Truly. Like, good quality. But, yeah. I don't know if I'll ever pick up anything else by her now. So, not that that has anything to do with Lisa Wingate. She's living her life. I'm sure. I couldn't stand it. First of all, the children are ripped away from their parents because their dad has to take their mom to the hospital because she's giving birth, but the baby coming out was like breech, turns out. This was 1939. So they're like, oh, you got to get to the hospital. You got to get there now. And then I can't think of what she was called. It's a midwife who was there. She was like, oh, Lord, there's 2 of them. And so she was having twins and she couldn't get them out. So she had to be rushed to the hospital. And then the children are abducted. And then they go through everything they go through, including the children just being separated. and then potentially never, ever, 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 ever finding them again. Oh my gosh. It just, I can't stand it. I can't stand it. Anyway, that's what I read.
And this place was a real place that really stole children from their parents. Mm-hmm. Was she arrested in real life ever?
They said in the back that they don't think she answered for all of her crimes because there was some bad stuff. That's actually it's a part from another book. The Book of Lost Friends. I bet that's so sad. There's even questions and topics for discussion. I wonder if the book club knows that. They said something like they don't think she was actually held accountable for everything, but she did get arrested but then she died, which is why they don't think she told them everything, didn't admit to everything, whatever. A baby farm. That's what it is. She ran a baby farm. And it was sad. I didn't like it. It's
very sad.
Yeah. Yep. So that was an awful time. It was that's how I feel about it. I think that's how my mom's probably going to feel about it. She sent me a bunch of crying faces. But I can see why, it is a good book. I can see how, objectively, it is a good book. Not for me, though. Not for me. Yeah. Yeah, it was upsetting. Yeah, I told my mom, I was like, I read a lot of sad stuff. I read a lot of scary stuff. A lot of gruesome stuff. A lot of upsetting stuff. But it almost never has to do with children. Yeah. Because I can't handle that. That's what I read. What are you currently reading? I feel like we've already
not.
Nothing?
No, because
you're in the in-between zone.
Last week was so mentally difficult.
Yeah, it was.
I've just been listening to worship music.
Oh, that's good.
And patriot music. Mm-hmm. And crying.
Yeah. I don't want to get into it.
No. And we shouldn't, because this isn't the place for it.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like reading.
Yeah. I really wish I didn't read this. But I was like, you know what? Google says it's a happy ending. Let's try it. Yeah. I wanted something else. I was like, I need to read like a fantasy.
Something happy.
Something else. Something not like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Been a rough few days. But yeah. So after I finished that, I was like, okay, now I can get back into my post-apocalyptic zombie story. Thank God. Thank God. Now I can get back into something that's not real.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. That's why I don't know if I randomly sent a Snapchat to everybody that I send Snapchats to, and I was like, I've got a 5-minute timer on everything now, so if you actually need to talk to me at any point, you're gonna have to text me. So I was like, look, Facebook is already grayed out. I think I did that at 3 o'clock this morning when Stetson randomly woke up, so I was just sort of on Facebook for a minute, and I was like, well, there goes my 5 minutes of Facebook. And you know what? Good riddance. I don't even care. So I'm reading, after I finished Before We Were Yours, I went back and I had to take a break from it because this is probably officially the longest book I've read so far this year. And it was taking me a minute. And it's at 599 pages.
Wow.
And I mean, my memory fails me all the time, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the longest book so far that I've read this year. And
have you read Stephen King? Because
I think I've read a Stephen King this year, but it's not been a long one.
Oh, okay.
This is Feed by Mira Grant. It's the first book in a series. It's the Newsflesh series. And this is the one I actually read the synopsis when my mom was here. And I didn't mention that it was zombies because then I don't think she'd want to be interested in it. But I actually will say she might actually like it more because I'm actually a little disappointed with the lack of zombies. It is actually more about politics, conveniently enough. But it's more like about politics and like, but about like the freedom of like the news and freedom of the speech and all the things. So this was the one where it had said this was the year 2014. We cured cancer, beat the common cold, but it turns out we ended up creating something else. And it never says zombies on here. Actually, it does at the very bottom, but I never read that when she was here. But but when they created this cure for cancer and everything, and when they like started to inject it in people, I can't remember exactly. I don't think that they immediately turned into zombies. Excuse me. I think it was they were fine. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm having like doesn't matter.
She's dying.
I know.
She'll be okay.
I'll make it. I think they ended up being fine, but then dying later on and then reanimating into a zombie.
Oh.
I think it was something like that. It's been a lot of pages since the introduction of it, so I could be wrong. It's an entertaining story. I will say it's kind of slow. And kind of slow in the fact that there's actually a lot less zombies than you would think.
For a zombie book?
For a zombie book. And then it's like a zombie series, and I'm like, okay, is it going to get a little bit more zombie-ish? Like, there's some interactions with some zombies, but it's more like America and the rest of the world, but it's based in America, is like, we're fine, even though there was a huge zombie outbreak and tried to kill everybody. We've reestablished ourselves. So it's like we're kind of living with the zombies just being around. And like there's super, like everywhere is like labeled as a zone, and they get a certain number, which determines how dangerous it is. Like Alaska, though, apparently we lost Alaska. Zombies have Alaska. The last frontier, we can't go there anymore because there's no surviving, apparently. So that's like I don't even remember, like a zone. Like I think it's the lower the number, the more serious. So I think it's like a zone 1 or something like that. I probably have it backwards. I had to read a horrible story and then come back to it. So, and so it's kind of slow for, coming into it thinking it's a zombie action story. It's not, there's action, there's zombies, but it is more about like journalism. Like these people are following the Republican candidate for presidency, and they're following him, like they're his campaign. I don't know. And it's almost just more about them and journalism.
Interesting.
It's kind of interesting, but it's also kind of boring in some places. Something just happened where I was like, okay, finally, some action. Which involves somebody dying, but I was like, whatever. I'll take anything I can get.
So you're not sure if you're going to read the second one?
I don't know. It really depends on... So this thing just happened, and it was really sad, and it felt more like I was reading like a zombie story.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, it depends on from this point to the end, which I'm at like 70-ish% now, really determines whether or not I'll read the next one. I wanted to really like it because I was like, that might be fun, like a zombie horror action thriller series.
Right.
Not just one book and there's zombies and survival. It just sounds fun. I don't know. But it's been really slow. Before I picked this book up for the book club, I was actually contemplating just like DNFing this book because it was just so slow. It's like very slow paced. But I was like, you know what? A lot of people seem to like it. So let's keep on trucking. Let's keep on trucking. Yeah, I'm at 74%. So I'm going to try to read more of it tonight. I don't know if I'll finish it tonight, but then I started on Libby a book called We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. And that was the book club for last month for reading through Raleigh. Fun fact. And I thought it sounded interesting. I never went because of, not being able to go. But, whatever. But I was like, oh, maybe I'll still read that book because it actually seems sort of interesting. I think they ended up making a show. I don't know. I honestly thought it was like a thriller kind of series, I say series. I think there's 2 books now, and I think there's only going to be 2 books. But I don't know. It says fiction, contemporary, mystery, romance, and it does seem a little like contemporary romancy, but not bad. That sounds bad, but not like it's not heavy on the romance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a lot of inner dialogue going on with our character who's leading the way. But I thought we were liars, so I thought it was like a mystery thriller. I don't know. It says mystery. Something's got to happen. I think something's going to happen, like somebody's going to go missing or die on this island. But it's
so no mystery yet.
No mystery yet. This is in another language. I clicked the wrong book. Or the wrong version of the book, I guess. Anyway. Yeah, so it's like rich people problems, Like they're like a rich family who every summer meets on this island. And where was it? I don't remember where. I think it's in Massachusetts actually.
Mm-hmm.
And so every summer they come and meet and have fun, and sometimes the cousins will bring a friend, whatever. And someone is like, she says she's in love with this person. I think this person's in love with her too, but seems to be dating somebody else. I don't know. But it's very like, you can tell that they are so rich they don't know what it's like to actually have problems. But like at the same time, I don't know. It's fun to watch. Fun to learn, fun to read.
Yeah.
Fun to hear.
Listen, when we read, we see it in our heads.
Yeah. So I'm watching it. But yeah. Something's got to happen to somebody. I think I know who something's going to happen to. But I don't know yet. And I don't know what it is. And it feels almost like they're going to have to cover up something. I don't know, man. I might be thinking way too much into it. I might be giving it way more credit than it's going to deserve. I don't know. That's not fair. But maybe it's just not what I should have started reading. It's good so far, though. It's fine. I don't know. I'm not too far in it. I started listening to it when I was putting laundry away.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like, I think I listened to maybe 30 minutes of it and then Stetson woke up.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't listened to it since. I think that was 2 days ago. I don't know.
You don't even know when you read it.
I don't even know what day it is. So that's me. That's where I'm at. Oh, after reading this, I was like, I need like a horror book. I need something that's not going to really make me cry.
Is that what that is?
I haven't started this because I'm reading Feed on my Kindle, which is supposed to be kind of like a horror book, and it's not. But yeah, I remember when I hauled this. This is Blood Red by James A. Moore. And it's about a little town in Rhode Island. And they're upcoming on Halloween. And something scary is about to happen. And I think it's about vampires. And I think it's gory.
Oh.
So I said, well, maybe I need something like that. Something that is just a horrifying story. So, I don't know. I haven't started it yet. This was I don't remember what it was called. I bet I could look it up, though. But this was the first book in, like, a Halloween series that Goblin ended up being, like, the 12th or 13th in that series. Yes. And I don't remember what it was called.
I don't either, but I know what you're talking about.
Blood Red, James A. And James A. Moore actually has, like, several of them in this series. Earthling, Halloween. That's what it's called, I think. Mr. Dark's. Yeah, this is that exact list. Yeah, it's the Earthling Halloween series. There's Goblin. It's number 13. Woo, 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 woo. So yeah, this is actually, this is technically number 1. There's another one before it that's listed as number 0. So I don't know about that, but this was number 1. I should go through and read all of these. I kept thinking, I was like, I haven't read like a bunch of horror novels, it seems like, in a long time. And I don't even like, I'm trying to look up what horror books I should start reading. And it's like, I can't even like, are they actual horror stories or are they like kind of comedy horror stories? You know, like, I don't know. I don't know what I want. I don't want to waste my time though.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I have this book. The best way I can think of telling somebody else about this book, very short, is if you remember the movie 30 Days of Night, the vampire movie in Alaska. How gruesome and scary that was. That's how I imagine this is going to be. And like that's the kind of horror book I want to read right now. We'll see if I even read it. I got to finish Feed first. And then I got to decide if I want to read the next book in the Feed series.
Right.
Feed series, Newsflash series. And I'm still technically reading the Murderbot Diaries books, but I haven't picked the next one up in that. Also on my Kindle. I'm trying to do this crazy thing this year where it's like, if I start a series,
you finish it?
I finish it. Like, I actually consecutively read the books. Trying to be like you, Becky. And the Murderbot Diaries should be good. I actually realized. So, remember when I think I read the first 3, something like that. And they're all very short. They're like less than 200 pages.
Right.
I picked up I downloaded the 4th one, I think, on my Kindle. And it's like almost a 400-page book or something. And I was like, as good as it is.
Just read half of it and then
see how I feel. You're like, this is actually I don't know. Yeah, and it's like, this is the first full-length novel in the Murderbot Diaries. And I was like, oh. I mean, that's cool and all. But I didn't necessarily sign up for the full-length novel in the Murderbot Diaries. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I really liked this book.
Your mom texted you that?
No. Somebody else. This is between me, my mom, and the lady who carpools with us. She said she really liked this book. SMH. Oh. My mom said it was good, but oh my gosh, roller coaster and the sadness. But yes, overall, I liked it after I recovered. I just said I didn't like this. So we're little fun thing we're doing tomorrow. She said to bring 3 books you want to, or 2 to 3 book suggestions you want to read for the next one, which I actually won't be in town for the next one. And so depending on what it is, I'll still read it, but I won't be at the actual book club. So mine are, I want to read something spooky. I want to read a spooky book for the October is spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And my options are The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix, The Haunting of Velkwood by Gwendolyn Kiste, Road of Bones by Christopher Golden. And I think those are all good suggestions.
We should read the first one for our book club.
Yeah, we will. How about that? If we don't read it. Which we probably won't. If we're all bringing like 2 to 3 suggestions, I highly doubt any of mine are going to get picked. But, so the first one, I thought it was funny because it's Southern Book Club.
Yeah.
And then Guide to Slaying Vampires. And I like Grady Hendrix, the author. But I've also heard that it's less of a horror book and more like a real life horror book.
Oh.
So I don't know. But
should I be scared that I said we should read that?
No. I think in comparison, I think what was really hard was that I could see this happening. Like, but this,
it probably still happens.
It
and
probably
that's
does
the really
still
depressing
happen.
thing about that.
Yeah. It probably does still happen. And but this is more like this is separated. This is like in a different realm. So I don't know. And then yeah, The Haunting of Velkwood is just like a spooky ghost story. Somebody had horrible memories of a place they grew up, and a reporter or somebody is trying to get them to come back for footage or an interview, and she's like, all right, for this amount of money, and she comes back, and I guess unsettling, scary things happen when she returns. I don't know. And then Road of Bones, barely even know what it's about. The synopsis started off like, in the winter with snow all around in the forest, and I was like, oh, sign me up. I don't know. But it's like, I think it involves like a scary road trip. I don't know. So I think it's more like a thriller suspense more than like a horror story.
Honestly, I think authors should get you to write the synopsis for their books.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep, it's scary. It's in the forest. I want to read something scary in the forest also. That's been on my mind a lot lately. I don't know.
Brooks synopses.
Yeah, there you go. A whole category.
Nothing to do with the actual book, by the way, but sounds more interesting than the actual book.
It's what got me roped. And maybe it made me think of this other book. Yeah. Okay. Well, so anyway, sorry, I was reading a message. Yeah, so I don't know. All of those sound good. If we don't pick the book club's guide to slaying vampires, we can totally read it for October.
Yeah.
So
I should probably physically read that one.
Yeah, I have no idea if it's on Everand or available at your library. I don't know. But
there's Amazon.
Yeah. And every time I go into a bookstore, I'm like, man. Or I'm sorry, not just a bookstore, but like a Barnes & Noble or a Books A Million or something like that. I'm like, man, here's a book I'm interested in. Oh, but look at that price. How much is it on Amazon? Oh, $3 cheaper? Well, I guess I'll get it on Amazon. And I feel bad, but at the same time, it's like, well, what can you do? It's cheaper on Amazon. Yeah, I would probably want to physically read it, though, too. Whether it's Kindle or paperback. Might be fun to go back to our roots, read paperback.
Yeah.
I think all I can think of is Goblin, which I did read paperback, but you actually listened to audio. So it's like, because you came and sat on my couch, and for like 5 minutes, you just sat there and stared into the void.
Because it was on such a fast speed, I had to really concentrate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was telling somebody, I was like, I have a friend who, I think it's Faith. I could be wrong. Maybe I am misremembering it. But she likes, or she can listen to audiobooks like really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, I can only bump it up a few notches. Otherwise it starts to sound like chipmunks to me, and I can't keep up. I don't know what they're saying. I'm pretty sure it's Faith.
I'm adding it to my cart just in case.
Did you look on Everand? Just out of curiosity.
No.
Okay. Let's look for the people. I don't even know how many people listen to us that actually use Everand. What's it called? The Southern... There it is. Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires.
It's on Everand?
I'm looking it up now. There's an ebook. There is an ebook. Oh, it went away. Here's the ebook. It says continue. Okay, no, that one's not available unless you play or pay more. Same thing with... Oh, no, the audiobook is. The audiobook's available. And it says dramatized adaptation.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll save it. I do want to physically read it, but it is there. My mom will probably want to listen to it.
Yeah.
If we don't for our... I think you would probably like Grady Hendrix, like as a horror author.
Mm-hmm.
If that was something you wanted to get into more. He's pretty good. I just loved this cover too. I read I don't know if it's not showing you the cover bigger. But it's called My Best Friend's Exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover is what sold me originally. It's supposed to look sort of like an old VHS tape.
Oh, uh-huh.
Yeah, kind of. It's I think it was set in the 70s and 80s in the story.
Oh, wow.
I just love it.
It does look like a 1980s horror movie.
Yeah, and it was great. And his books, all of his covers he tries, I think, to get somebody who kind of that same vibe, but I don't think not my best friend's Exorcism, the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, I don't think it's all that cool of a cover, but it's not a bad cover. It's just two peaches with vampire bites in one of them.
Yeah.
So, whatever. And since it's peaches, I wonder if it's set in Georgia.
Yeah, I wondered that when I saw peaches.
Yeah. But I also read... Oh, what did I read? Let me type in Grady Hendrix. I have it upstairs. What is it called? Horrorstor. I read Horrorstor.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the cover? Here it is. This is small. Sorry.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. It's like it's sort of like an IKEA IKEA catalog inspired layout in the story. Yeah. It was fun.
It has a fold out front thing, right? Where you can look at the store.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he tries to have like kind of fun with the book designs or whoever he hires to do it. I don't know. But so I've read My Best Friend's Exorcism and Horrorstor. I don't think I've read anything else by Grady Hendrix other than I think a short story in one of the collections I've read. Mm-hmm. So I would be eager to read the Southern Guide to the Book, whatever. Some titles are long, and it's just like it's too much.
The Southern Book Club's Guide to Vampire Slaying.
Slaying vampires.
Slaying vampires.
I remember that part. It's Southern and it's a book club and there's vampires. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. Yeah, somebody else in the book club, she's not going to be there for the October one either. Unfortunately. But she said, these are my suggestions or whatever, and she sent Mexican Gothic and Hidden Pictures. I'll put the authors in the show notes. I read both of them.
Yes, I remember Mexican Gothic.
Yes. And it was good. I mean, both of those books were really good. Mm-hmm. Hidden Pictures threw me for a loop. That was a good one. And I was like, my mom sent me her options for the other girl who said this. And I was like, I've told you to read Hidden Pictures. Read it. I actually got Katie to just read it. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh my gosh, cannot believe. Like, you have to physically read that book because it's got like kids' drawings to go with the story. And then it gets wild.
It's a little creepy.
I jumped. I turned the page and whoever laid the book out laid it out very well because it's like, it's building up. Something's creepy about the story. You're reading, you got to turn the page. And there's like, boom, creepy kids drawing. And I like literally jumped. I was like, wow, kudos to you. Good job. Because it's not often that you actually jump to like a physical book or something. Right. Normally that's like audiobook or a movie. Right. You don't jump in like a book.
Jump scare.
Yeah. It spooked me though. And I was like, this is a good book. And the twist at the end, oh, I wouldn't have seen it coming if it was right in front of my face. Like, I was blown away. And then Katie read it and she was like, wow, cannot believe this. I'm so shocked. So I've been wanting my mom to read it, but she's been on like just an audiobook kick because of how she can get more audiobooks than physical or whatever. And I was like, well, if you read it though, you've got to physically read it. You can't. I don't know what it would be like in the audio, but there's no way it's as good.
Right.
So books like that are cool. Anyway, I feel like we went all over the place.
We have.
Which is fine.
But we talked about a lot of books, and that's the most important part.
That's right. And we did a quote, and we almost cried.
Yes.
But we didn't cry. So that's good. Progress.
I've been noticing on a couple of episodes that I've edited that we didn't even discuss a quote.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's unfortunate.
And when I pay attention, there will be like a few weeks in a row where I'm like, we need a quote, or even you're like, I have a quote, and I'm like, good for you. And I'm like, okay, we're on it. And then there will be several episodes, won't even think about it. It doesn't even cross my mind. And I wonder if that's because the books I've read at the time, I didn't actually save anything as a quote from it. Or there's nothing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Speaking of things you want to bring up, there were a couple things while you were talking that I was like, oh, I should have said this about the books. So the Emma M. Lyon books, she's a reader, but she's not allowed. She doesn't have a library. And in the first book, you just know that you can't stand her family. Mm-hmm. Her parents are dead, and the people who are in her life are not nice people to her. But she wants to have books because she always had books with her dad, and he was an artist, and he always drew in the books.
That's neat.
And it always had to do with whatever the book was about. So he has the complete works of Shakespeare, and he has doodles of Shakespeare and stuff. She wants to do the same thing in her books. And so I was thinking about that. And what else did I want to mention? Their town has a quirk to it. So when they lose something, it's not like when we lose a sock and you can't find it or whatever. It actually will move from their house to someone else's house or to someone. So if you find something that they label things so that when it's That's found, funny. People know it's theirs.
Right.
And then there's a tea shop where you go to, and they have a room devoted to found items. And every item that's in there is logged and who found it and where. And you go in and if you see something that is yours, then you log that it's yours and that you have reclaimed it. So that's very interesting in those books.
That sounds like a very whimsical, magical town they live in.
It is. Well, they live in London, but they live in a part of London.
Yeah.
It's called St. Charles or something like that. So it's a neighborhood in London.
Right.
And they have their own vicar. Their vicar is a little strange, but not in a bad way. He just doesn't act like a normal vicar.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a really good series, and she is going to inherit, but she has to wait until she's 21 to inherit. I think that's the correct age, and it's in 6 months. So the journals, they're written like journals. They're notations every day, and it's whatever day she's writing, it tells what the day is and stuff. So it's written like a journal. It's not written like a regular book, which is funny because that's the idea
fun.
That I had for one of my books.
Right.
I didn't know I stole it from someone.
A lot of people have. There's a lot of books that are laid out in journal entries.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I say a lot. I know they exist. I've read a couple maybe that are like that, but that's always fun. That's always fun to read a book in a different layout.
Right. So she has that. So the first journal is 2 or 3 months or something like that. The second one is the same, and so on. So you're reading through. She hasn't inherited yet. So I don't know which journal it is that she's going to actually inherit, but she's going through all of these things before she inherits and finds out some of her money's been stolen and just different things she's trying to do to be able to save her inheritance. And she is a young lady, and the only way that she can survive is if she has her inheritance. She's not married.
She needs her prospects.
So there's a lot going on, and it's really, really good.
Yeah. So that sounds like, I think I would like it.
Yeah, it's good. I think you would like it too.
Sounds like I'd like it. It almost sounds like, just when you were saying things don't disappear, they just wind up somewhere else. Mm-hmm. It almost sounds like a cozy fantasy-esque ish story.
Yeah. It's very, and it's funny because that's the only thing that's quote unquote magical that happens. Right. So it's like real life, but not really.
Yeah. Magical realism.
Yeah. It's really, I love it. It's really good.
I like some magical. I read a couple of magical realism books and I really enjoy them. But I went to read one. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember the book. But a couple years ago, I went to read another magical realism book and I was like, I don't know if I'm liking it now. And that kind of bummed me out because I really liked Or maybe it was just the book, you know? Like, I would probably still enjoy magical realism, just not that story.
The one magical realism book that I remember you reading was about a girl who had wings.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I loved that book. I actually think about that book a lot, and I'm like, I should reread it. Like, because I used to reread it every year, because it's like, it was my favorite book overall. And
now Station 11 is.
And Station 11 is up there. But now I need to reread Station 11, because I'm like, I know I would still love it, but I don't know. I think you need to read Station 11. I think you'd like it. Everything gets answered in that book. Yeah. That was The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, which is another long title.
Yeah.
By Leslie Walton. She's only written like 2 books.
Really?
I think. I don't know. You know, authors are real people, you know? And in my head, I'm like, why haven't you written me more books, Leslie Walton? But maybe she wrote what she wanted and that was that. I don't know. I've read both of her books, and I think she has a short story in some collection, but I haven't read it. And the other one I read by her was The Price Guide to the Occult, I think is what it was called. And it was a very, like, October, fall, spooky book, kind of. Not spooky, but, like, very good for spooky season, you know, that kind of thing. Like, there's a lot of leaves on the ground, you know what I mean? So, and I liked it. I didn't like it as much as the other one, but it was good. And I think that's like all she's got. Let me see, Leslie. I follow her on Instagram. Yep, those are it. But on here, on her actual website, there's another book. Yeah, 13 stories of Belles, bank robbers, and other girls. A Tyranny of Petticoats. So it's a short story collection. I guess she has a story in it. That's cute. Yeah, she needs to write me more stories. So
yeah, sounds like it.
Anyway, all right. I don't think I have anything else.
Me either.
I'm sure I do, but you know.
We could just talk forever, but we shouldn't.
I know.
So it's wonderful to know that there are so many of you in the world. Thank you, Kindred Spirits, for listening, as always. Be looking for some more special episodes coming up soon. We interviewed Miss Tracy 2 weeks ago, and we're going to, hopefully, Lord willing, interview my mom next week. I'm just going to have to kidnap her. So, you know, it's doable. And then we did a special episode. It's only 3 minutes long, but
I mean that's a good little short thing.
It is.
A little snippet.
And we're going to record another one of those soon, and I'm not sure how it's going with getting things on YouTube, but we're about to the size number that we need to upload everything at one time.
Yeah. And
make it viewable all at once so that I can work on more stuff and you have something to view. So
yeah,
we're getting there, and I'm not sure exactly what Brooke is doing with Patreon, but listen for a future announcement from her whenever she's ready for that, so you guys can get on there. And thank you for continuing to support us. Please help us grow once we get everything on YouTube, so we can get more viewers and more listeners. We really appreciate you, and we want to appreciate more of you. And continue to check out Sideways Sheriff. He's on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And thank you, Miss Tracy, of course. She's going to be busy coming up with some new merchandise soon in reference to our special short little episodes. So look for some new merchandise coming up soon. And I guess that's all. Until next time, stay happily booked.